This is reporter Ian Stewart. Ian was nearly killed on his way to the front lines in Sierra Leone. Take a look at Ian's story.
When I first began as a foreign correspondent, it was an absolute thrill. It was such a romantic idea, wearing a flak vest, dashing from country to country, meeting exotic people, a passport full of visas. It was everything I ever dreamt of. There were close calls, a lot of close calls. Afghanistan, I was taken captive. In Cambodia, I came very close to being shot on assignment in the northern jungles. In Guinea-Bissau, I just missed stepping on a landmine. Kinshasa, I was almost throttled by an angry mob. The rebels in Sierra Leone were cutting off hands, cutting off feet, they were gouging out eyes. These people were barbaric. When you see that, it changes you for life. It is not romantic anymore, but it leaves you with an even more powerful mission to make the world aware of what's going on. We'd been in Sierra Leone for several days. I traveled there with my close friend, Miles Tierney, who was a cameraman also for the Associated Press. Miles was bigger than life. He was known as Mr. Smiles. Miles had this incredible charisma about him. It was January 10th, 1999. It was a Sunday. The rebels had overrun the city in Freetown, so we had to get into Freetown so we could actually get to the front and see what was happening with the fighting. So we linked up with the convoy, and we started traveling through the city. A few armored personnel carriers and tanks went by, and this gunfight erupted. It was unbelievable, this eruption of gunfire like I've never heard. Popping and crackling and heavy gunfire everywhere. At this point, I was really agitated, I was really uncomfortable, and Miles said, "Calm down, man, it's okay. If anything happens, you've got my fat body to protect you." Miles raised his camera to his shoulder. As that was happening, almost in a split second, this AK-47 burst into an eruption of gunfire. It tore right through the backseat of the car, and I took one bullet, right in the center of my forehead, went down the midline and stopped in the back of my skull. At that point, I lost consciousness. They did eventually fly me to London. The surgeon looks at the x-rays and the CAT scans. My family arrives. And I said, well, he's got a 20 to 40% chance. 2 weeks afterwards, my mom is standing across the room, and I'm just lying there looking the other way. And out of nowhere, I just said, "Mom, what happened to Miles?" And she just looked and said, "Ian, Miles is dead." What happened to me was minute by comparison to what the people of Sierra Leone have been through. I have an arm, a left arm, it doesn't work, but I have it. Even though I was hurt and wounded in this horrific way, I wouldn't trade a day of my life as a foreign correspondent. I loved it. I loved what I did. It gave me so much satisfaction, so much sense of purpose in life. I don't really think of myself as courageous. I guess I just really believe in what I can do to help. I wish I could be in Afghanistan right now. I don't think I need to be up at the front line anymore. But I think I would still maintain my conviction that what I was doing was vitally important and somebody has to do it.